So, welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a really fascinating one today. I want you to just picture this for a second.
Okay.
Imagine a massive, this sacred gate that stays locked tight for 6 days a week.
Right.
But even though the door is locked, you are still commanded to bring your absolute most prized possession to it every single morning.
Yeah, it's a pretty striking image.
It really is. And that's our mission today. We're exploring this concept of daily quiet time, or QT, by connecting the bizarre ancient temple rituals found in the book of Ezekiel to a very modern family's relatable struggle with their morning routine.
Yeah, the contrast in the sources we're looking at today is just, it's huge.
Yeah.
Because in Ezekiel chapter 46, you have this highly specific instruction about the east gate of the inner court.
Right, the temple architecture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it says this gate is completely sealed off for the 6 working days. It's only on Sabbaths and new moons that it's thrown wide open for the prince and the people to come together for communal worship.
Which is almost like a royal throne room, right?
Yeah.
Like the public audience is this rare, highly scheduled spectacle.
Right.
But the guards at the door, they still have to stand at attention and show reverence every single morning.
Right.
Because whether the king is visible or not, if you look at verses 13 through 15, the text demands this unceasing daily morning offering.
Yeah, a very specific offering.
Yeah, it's like a spotless year-old lamb, a precise measurement of grain, and oil. Every single morning, no exceptions.
And we really have to pause and look at what those specific items represented to these people.
Okay, yeah.
Because in an agrarian society, a spotless lamb and pure oil, they weren't just symbolic tokens.
Right, it's not just a gesture.
No, it was their livelihood. They represented the absolute pinnacle of a family's wealth and survival.
Wow.
So bringing that massive offering daily, especially when the gate was closed and there was no grand spectacle to be a part of, well, it plays heavily on the psychology of architecture.
The psychology of architecture.
Yes.
How so?
Well, think about it. Physically restricting access to a space naturally heightens its perceived sanctity.
Oh, sure. Like a VIP room.
Exactly. By keeping the gate closed during the week,
Right.
God is visually instructing the people that the sacred doesn't only exist in the grand open-door weekend events.
Right.
It forces the worshiper to find the sacred in the mundane, everyday act of sacrifice. The closed door basically demands that personal devotion happens regardless of who is watching or, how accessible the sacred feels that day.
That is so interesting. And that friction between the grand open door worship and the quiet closed door daily sacrifice, it actually perfectly mirrors the modern struggle in our other source today.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The struggle of maintaining what a lot of people call quiet time, or QT.
Right.
And just for anyone unfamiliar, QT is just a dedicated daily period for reading scripture or meditating or praying.
Yeah, personal devotion time.
Exactly. And the author of these modern reflection notes writes about the really messy reality of doing this with his son and daughter.
It's very relatable.
It is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they manage to do it in the morning, sometimes it gets pushed to the evening, and sometimes they just get completely derailed by the chaos of life and just forget entirely.
Right. And eventually the kids ask the obvious question, which is, why do we have to do this every day?
Naturally.
And the mother steps in with this answer that completely reframes the entire practice for them.
Yeah.
She tells them, she says, Mom and Dad hug you every morning and evening because we truly love you. And God also wants to share that kind of loving conversation with us.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me, and I have to push back a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Doesn't framing a strict, ancient spiritual discipline as just a simple hug, doesn't that risk entirely stripping away the serious theology of Ezekiel's sacrifices?
I see what you're saying.
Because we're talking about giving up your actual livelihood at a locked ancient gate.
Yeah.
And comparing it to a morning hug, I don't know, it feels like we might be trading this profound theological duty for a cute parenting tactic.
Well, it sounds overly simplistic on the surface, I'll grant you that. Yeah. But she is actually tapping into the ultimate endpoint of that theology.
Honey.
So the ancient system of rigid duty and physical sacrifice, that was a necessary framework to teach a wandering people about dedication and reverence, right?
Okay, yeah.
But over centuries, that framework conceptually evolved into modern grace-based devotion. Complex theology, with all its strict rules and precise measurements, it actually has profound limits when it comes to fully expressing a loving relationship.
Ah, I see. So the mother is essentially translating how that evolution works in actual daily practice.
Exactly. She shifts quiet time from a rigid transactional task that's designed to somehow earn God's love into a joyful response to the love they've already received.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it completely strips away the anxiety of a religious checklist.
Right? It's not a chore anymore.
Right. When you remove the pressure of the performance, the practice culminates in this simple, profound confession that the author highlights, which is just, God, I am here. God, I love you.
Yeah.
Meeting a loving father isn't a theological exam. It's just a joyful embrace.
That really changes the perspective. So what does this all mean for us practically?
Well, it's a call to action, really.
Yeah, because the reflection notes challenge us to look at our own mornings. They push us to view our daily habits not as these burdensome checklists we have to just knock out before rushing out the door,
Right.
but as intentional, loving pauses. Just a moment to say, I am here.
And the notes specifically prompt the reader to consider what actually receives their attention first upon waking.
Oh boy.
Yeah, is that first moment a loving meeting, or is it just another urgent task to knock out?
I mean, I know I'm completely guilty of grabbing my phone before my feet even hit the floor.
Oh, we all are.
You know, checking emails or scrolling the news immediately. It feels productive.
Yeah.
But it's essentially prioritizing the noise and the anxiety of the day over that intentional, quiet pause.
Most of us fall into that exact trap, honestly. And this raises a really important question to leave the listeners with today.
Okay, let's hear it.
If ancient people were commanded to offer their absolute best, their very livelihood, at a closed gate every single morning.
Right.
And if our modern reflection is meant to be a loving embrace before the chaos of the day even starts,
Yeah.
what is the very first thing you reach for when you wake up actually say about what you value most?